Yo, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Charles here from the CG Sports Podcast, where talking sports is more than just a hobby. And as you guys can see from the title of the video, we are back with another weekly prediction video. Now, I know I told you guys we were going to have guests, and we actually did have a guest this week. We have my guy Mostradamus, host of the League Crawler Podcast, runs SPA, a whole bunch of stuff he's doing. And we filmed a great episode, but unfortunately the file decided to get corrupted, so he is not here, and we are going to have another solo episode. But I can promise you guys he will be back for a later episode in some further week long down the road of this season. But he will be back. You guys will get to see him. But nonetheless, this is going to be a solo episode, like I said. So nonetheless, if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And let's get into it. And for our first game, it is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Now, this game is going to be played over in London. So this one will be a real early game. Now, we do have some injuries to talk about before we get started here. Devontae Parker and Xavier Howard both out with shoulder injuries, as well as linebacker Myles Jack is going to be out with a back injury. So a couple injuries to keep in mind there, but we should be expecting Tua to come back for this game. We should be expecting him to come back, and if he doesn't, I still think Brissett gets the job done. Obviously, we know these London games tend to be a little weird, not really consistent to what we would normally see, but I still don't see a way that the Dolphins are going to go ahead and lose to Jacksonville. I think they should get this one no problem, and they'll come out on top pretty much with ease. The only way I really see the Jaguars win is if that offense really gets rolling and they really become unstoppable. But have we seen anything like that so far? No, we have not. And I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. So I do got the Dolphins winning this one with ease and making their way a little bit closer to first place in that AFC East. For our next game, it is going to be the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings matching up. Now, there are some injuries here as well. Panthers linebacker Shaq Thompson is going to be out with a foot injury, as well as Christian McCaffrey, who was told that maybe he could return this week. He did get put on the IR, which means he'll be missing at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. So he will not be returning anytime in the near future. But nonetheless, I do still think the Panthers have what it takes to win this game. I think this is going to be one of the closer games of the week. It could really go either way. But I just think Carolina with that offense, they've looked so good so far. The Vikings have looked good too offensively, but they've just shown some flaws, and they've given us reason to realize that they're not proven yet. They haven't proven to be a consistent offense and to be able to consistently win games. Carolina has done that for me, and that's why I'm going to take the Panthers to win this one in a close matchup against Minnesota. And for our next game, it is going to be another closely contested match. We got the Baltimore Ravens playing up against the Los Angeles Chargers, two teams that have looked phenomenal over the past couple weeks. The Ravens just came up with that huge comeback against Indianapolis last week, a phenomenal performance by Lamar Jackson and company. But I'm not set on them just yet. They've shown potential. They have shown that they could be one of the top-tier teams in the league, but I just don't see them beating this red-hot Chargers team. Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, that trio, it's been unstoppable. It's really been unstoppable. Nobody has been able to find an answer for that Chargers team, and I don't think the Ravens have that answer for them. Obviously, they had a couple losses in the offseason on the defensive side of the ball. They got a couple guys hurt in that secondary. I don't think they're going to be able to get it done and hold down Justin Herbert and the crew. So I think the Chargers win this one. I do think it'll be a close game, probably within 10 points, but I do think the Chargers have what it takes to take down Lamar and the Ravens. And for our next game, it is going to be the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants. Now, already, I had the Rams win this game, but when you talk about Kenny Golladay out with a knee injury, Saquon Barkley out with an ankle injury, that just kills it for me, man. Daniel Jones, who had a concussion last week, will play in this game on Sunday, but I still don't see them winning. I think it's going to be even worse. I think Matt Stafford and company are going to make it look easy out there, man. They're a better team on both sides of the ball. I'm expecting all-out dominance. I expect them to win by at least 15 points, if not even more. But nonetheless, I think the Rams take this one with ease and keep on chasing the Cardinals for that first place position. And for our next matchup, it's going to be another pretty easy game to call here between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, both teams have been pretty subpar so far, but I think the Colts are just the better of the bad teams. Like, the Texans are still with their third-string quarterback. Their defense has really been up and down. It's either been picking up turnovers all over the place or just been getting absolutely torched. I'm expecting them to not have a good day on Sunday. I think Carson Wentz and that Colts offense will just have enough to get by the Texans. I don't think it'll be a very high-scoring game. Maybe something along the lines of 17-10, 17-13. It'll still be a close game, but I think Wentz and the Colts are going to be able to pull this one out in a close win against a division rival. Next game, it is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs heading over to D.C. to play the Washington football team. Now, just to get some injuries out of the way here, Chris Jones will be out with a wrist injury. We've been kind of waiting for him to come back and try and revive this Chiefs defense. He's still not come back this week. And for Washington, wide receiver Curtis Samuel out with a groin injury, which means I would say Terry McLaurin is going to be getting some heavy touches this week. And if you got him in fantasy, I definitely like starting him this week, no doubt about it. But nonetheless, I just don't see the Chiefs losing this game, and they've been off to a very, very slow start. They've lost a lot of games that if you asked a lot of people last year, you'd say they would have won with ease, but it's really been the defense that has been pulling them down. So I do think Washington keeps this game within one possession just because of how bad that defense has been, but I think the Chiefs are just too high-powered on that offensive side of the ball. Washington, also their defense has struggled a lot. They were considered a top 3-1 on paper coming into this year. They have not met that par, and I think the Chiefs are going to abuse them on Sunday, and they come out with a big win and try to get back on the right track. For our next game, it is going to be an NFC North divisional matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears have really, really disappointed. They were a team that I know a lot of people were pretty high on because of obviously bringing in Justin Fields. They got a decent receiving core, but they have not met the par that people had put them on at the start of the season. I think this will be another easy win for Rodgers and company. I think they come into Soldier Field and make things happen very, very quickly and very, very easily. Similar to a game we spoke about just a couple of minutes ago, I think Green Bay outplays them on both sides of the ball. No problems here. At least, once again, a 15-point victory. And I think Green Bay gets it done with ease and continues to hold on first place in the NFC North. For our next game, it is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions have just found a way to lose in the most unfortunate ways possible. They've already lost to like 2 game-winning field goals and a whole bunch of other very tough losses, and I don't think it changes here, man. Obviously we all know they're a team without a win, and at some point you're going to say they're going to lose and they're going to end up getting that first win. Unless they're going to be like their team from 2005 or the Browns from a couple years ago, they will get at least one win this year. Will it be this week? I don't think so. I think the Bengals have their match this week. They've looked really good so far. Joe Burrow has been great. Joe Mixon has been great. That receiving core has looked phenomenal, and I think that success will continue today. Detroit does not have a great secondary, and I think Joe Mixon will take advantage of it on Sunday, and they will come out with a win and continue to fight towards first place in the AFC North. And for our next game, this is going to be what I think will be the most exciting game of the week. It is going to be the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, there is some injuries that we have to talk about in this game. Running back Nick Chubb will be out with a calf injury. So for all you guys who got Kareem Hunt, you know the drill. Start the guy in fantasy. He's going to be getting all the touches, not only in the receiving game, but also actually running the ball a good amount. But Arizona's undefeated. I don't see that stopping on Sunday. Cleveland will definitely give them a good matchup. Their defense has been solid, and the offense has been okay, I guess, maybe a slightly above average, but I'm expecting Arizona's defense to kind of be able to hold things down, and they'll just be able to get enough points on the board to slide past the Browns. I think it will be within 10 points, within single digits they'll win by, I would say, maybe about 4-7. I'll give them 4-7 point win for Kyler and company, but I think they stay undefeated. No real problems here. I think that offense will continue to roll. Even with their coach being out with COVID, not being able to play call for them, I think Kyler will be able to get it done, put the team on his back like he always does, and come through with a big win. Getting down to the final couple of games here, we're going to move on to the Dallas Cowboys, heading up to Boston to play the New England Patriots. Now, this is a game that I think is going to be a lot closer than most people think. That Patriots offense has looked real good. With Jacoby Myers, that guy has been so efficient. Mac Jones has looked pretty solid, and the Patriots defense hasn't been horrible. The Cowboys, on the other hand, that defense has been phenomenal. The offense has done good enough, and they've looked red hot since their Week 1 loss. So I do think Dallas will go ahead and win this game, but I'm saying this right now, I think it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people are making it seem. Don't sleep on the Pats. They may be without Brady, but they're still not that bad, man. I think Mac Jones is going to be able to keep this game close, but I think at the end, Dak Prescott in those final 6 minutes or so will pull this game away and seal that one and continue to hold first place for the Cowboys. And for our next game, it is going to be the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders, an AFC West matchup. Now, this is another tough game to call. 2 middle-of-the-pack teams, and, oh, man, this one is going to kill me, man, because if I get this one wrong, I'm going to be upset with myself. But listen, I'm going to go with the Raiders. The Broncos, obviously, they're at home. They got that nice home field advantage, but I like the Raiders in this one. The offense has looked solid. The defense has been iffy, but just for the Broncos, I'm not sold on them yet. Obviously, they won those first 3 games, but they were not against good teams. They're yet to beat a legitimate team. And the Raiders, I wouldn't call them a legitimate team, but they're a team that's up to their par. And I think the Broncos are going to disappoint the world on Sunday when they go ahead and lose to their division rival in the Las Vegas Raiders. Moving to our Sunday night football matchup. It is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this is a game, 2 pretty injured teams. The Seahawks, of course, going to be without Russell Wilson, who is out with a finger injury, as well as Chris Carson, who is on IR at the moment. So 2 big pieces missing in that Seattle offense. And for the Steelers, Juju Smith-Schuster out with a shoulder injury. So a couple of big injuries here, but I still think, despite not having their starting quarterback, despite not having their starting running back, I still think Seattle has it in them. They still got DK Metcalf. They still got Tyler Lockett. And Geno Smith did not look horrible. Obviously, we can't judge him off that 1 game alone, but this would be a big statement game for him. If he can come out, obviously he only played the last, 2.5 quarters, whatever he played. But if he could come out here and play a full game in primetime football and get it done against the Steelers, I'd feel a lot better about him filling in for Russell Wilson. So we'll just have to wait and see what Geno Smith can do. But I'm going to go ahead and give this win to the Seahawks. And for our final game of these Week 6 NFL predictions, going to be the Monday Night Football matchup. The Buffalo Bills heading over to Nashville to match up with the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is a tough one, man, because Tennessee has not looked the best, but the past couple times we've seen them play Buffalo, they really seem to show out, and Derrick Henry seems to cause some problems. So the big question here is, can Buffalo contain Derrick Henry? And my answer, if you asked me last year, would have been no. But my answer this year is going to be yes. That Buffalo defense has looked phenomenal so far. Their offense has looked absolutely unstoppable. Josh Allen looking like an MVP candidate. Everything's really clicking. The running back committee is looking great. The wide receiver core is looking great. Dawson Knox is starting to get into a groove. I don't see a way this Bills team loses. And I think they got this one with ease. I think it'll be a 10-plus point victory for Buffalo to close out Week 6. That is going to do it for this week's prediction video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. My apologies. I know this video is not going to be up to the par of my other ones. Obviously, I am still sick. I don't got my glasses, so I can't really see too well. No excuses, though, man. I promise you guys, next week's episode, we will have another guest. It'll be what you guys are used to. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys staying all the way to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Make sure you give me some suggestions in the comments down below of any videos that you guys want to see. Nonetheless, it's been your boy CG, and I'm out. Peace.